Hey, it's Dave Bishop from Halifax, Nova Scotia, and I'm here chatting with Staxx.
Welcome to this episode of Chatting with Staxx. I'm your host, Bill Staxx, and today I got Bishop.
What's going on, Bill?
What's up, man? How you doing?
I'm good. Always good.
Thank you for joining me, man. I appreciate you taking the time.
No problem.
So, where were you born and raised?
Halifax, Nova Scotia.
And what was your early life like?
Rough. All right. It wasn't bad. I grew up in housing and in the hood and stuff. And back in the day, it's the only little white boy growing up in the black community, but it worked out. It ended up being okay. You know what I mean?
Did you get into a lot of fights? A lot of fights?
Oh yeah.
You remember your first one?
I do. Brandon Ellis is his name.
You want to walk me through it? Walk me through it.
We were playing touchdown. We were playing touchdown football, and it was in the pubs. It's a housing project off Bears Road in the city, and him and his brother tackled me, and when he got up and walked away, he stomped on my hand. So I got up and I pushed him from behind, and he turned around and punched me right in the eye. Gave me black eye, and his day before picture day in grade 1.
Oh,
yeah.
Man.
Yeah, and then my mother was so mad. But, it was my first black eye.
Was that the end of it?
No. Fuck, I had many black eyes after that. Yeah, I know. With me and Brandon, yeah, we were friends, good friends growing up after that. We were still good. But yeah, he gave me my first black eye.
Yeah, you never forget your first black eye.
No,
either, right?
I haven't forgot that. It's funny you said it to me because I was thinking like, what? And so every time I drive through there, that same spot, I go to my wife, I'm like, there's where I got my first black eye. I don't forget that.
Yeah, I remember mine.
Yeah?
Yeah, definitely. I got kicked right in the face by a kid.
Jeez. You want me to take care of that for you?
No, I already took care of it. His dad ran outside and said, pick on someone your own side. The kid's bigger than me, man.
Yeah.
You mean?
Right on.
So where did you want to go with your life when you were younger? Did you have an idea what you wanted to do, or?
I did. So I got burnt working I was young. So I got in a lot of trouble in school. I didn't like to listen. I did what I felt I was right. They call it defiance disorder or some foolishness. I just call it being a kid. So I got put out of school quite a bit, and I used to get put at work with my dad. I had to work. Dad would make me work for him, but I didn't work. I never got paid when I was kicked out of school and worked for my dad. So it was kind of cool, but. Then I wanted to go on my own and get another job. So I went with this roofing company, and we were doing a roof at St. Pat's High School on Quinpole Street in Halifax. It was my first time working on roofing tar and everything else. And they put the tar pot up on the roof, which I didn't know what you weren't allowed to do, by regulations. Anyway, I went over with the thing to grab the tar, because we were tarring the whole roof. And they had it on 4x4, just wood blocks. So I'm pulling it, and the tar is thick and it's hot and everything else. So I'm shaking the pot, and it fell on me. And when it fell on me, all the tar came out. It burned all my legs, my stomach, my chest, everything else. And it's heavy, right? And when I was at this age, I was really small. Until I was 21, or when I got out my first jail term, I got out at 19, and I was 120 pounds. And when I went in, I was under 100 pounds, right? I was always a little guy. Yeah. So I thought so anyway, the tar burnt, it fell on me, and I got put in the burn unit, and I was there for quite some time. And I seen all the kids and everything else. So I always wanted to be a firefighter. That's what I wanted to be. And from that, so my one sister is in the military, and my other one, she's so high up in the paramedics now, she teaches paramedic school. Right. And then there's me. You know what I mean? They're the good ones. I'm the baby, and I'm the bad one. So from that, I did firefighting training, and I went downtown one night, and I got pizza at Pizza Corner. and I got 2 pieces of pizza, and I was walking out the door. I held the door open for these guys, and they took the pizza out of my hand and started eating it. I'm only like 120 pounds, but I was also a featherweight boxer. I did some stuff. I messed around with a little bit of things, right? So I knew how to handle myself. So I felt disrespect, and I was always taught, if you feel like that either you're in danger or somebody disrespects you publicly, at a young age, I was taught violence, right? You don't cry, you don't diss, you walk away, you figure it out later, or you handle your business and never be punked off, and always stand up for yourself, right? And so I looked at these 2 guys, and I hit the one guy a few times. What? And he was an off-duty cop.
Oh, man.
So I got charged. I knew nothing about court or anything like that. And I didn't want to tell my dad or anybody. So I didn't say nothing to my father. So I was going to the court process and all that. And then I remember going to the court date, and I go in, and my lawyer says, hey, if you plead guilty, you won't go to jail. I'm like, well, obviously, I won't go to jail. In my mind, I was right. You know what I mean? I said, why would I go to jail? He took my pizza, right?
Yeah.
And he's like, well, you shattered his orbital bone. He broke his jaw. You punctured all this stuff. Like, the guy lost half his vision or whatever. I said, well, I didn't think it was that bad. He shouldn't. In my mind, you shouldn't have took my pizza.
He deserved it, kind of, right? Yeah.
In my mind, it was the right thing to do, right? You don't call the cops. You handle yourself. You don't call crying about it. You deal with what you got to deal with. You take your heat if they get heat. So I said, okay. He goes, well, if you don't, if you plead guilty, it will be some kind of, I forget what it's called, conditional sentence, where if I finish the probation or whatever, I don't get in trouble, the charge goes away, and then I'll be able to pursue what I want to do. Well, I pled guilty, and that's not what happened. They lied to me. So that's really when my actions really took off. So now I was like, man, like, I never liked cops or anything anyway, but I'm thinking the whole court system lied to me. Like, fuck them, right?
So what, did they hold the charge on your record?
Yeah, it's on my record.
So there was no unconditional discharge.
No, I never left, and I could never go firefight. I could never do any of that. That was just, they lied to me, and I would have rather, if I could have went to jail and they got out and then have it done or whatever. But yeah, they lied to me, so that's where a lot of hatred came on with me towards police and everything else. I had like a lot of hatred. Like I was very rough. Like I would see cops from that moment on, and like I wish there's people you can ask anybody down here. If I seen cops, I would literally chase after them. Like it was just dumb. I have multiple assaults on police officers. You know, it's not like these guys didn't even do anything. It's just I thought like, well, you guys fucked me, I'm gonna fuck you, kind of thing, right? And that was my mentality. And it didn't get me anywhere. But my problem was, I didn't care about jail. I didn't care about anything. I cared about what I stood for and what I stood up for. So in my mind, they fucked me, so I'm going to fuck them. So I became very like hateful towards it, childish if you think about it now. But I never gave a care about anything besides standing up for what I believe in, ever. And you can't. Nobody will break me on that. And that's what my old man ingrained in my head. You know. Always stand up for yourself. Don't let anybody belittle you. Always give somebody trust and respect, and it's up to them to keep it. If they break it, that's on them. If they start it, you can finish it. That's on them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that was my mind. Like I don't want a problem. But if you bring a problem, it's going to be a problem. Like, let's go. Let's go right now. Let's just deal with this. And I've done all kinds of like insane like stuff I think about now. It's just like, man, I wasn't even thinking. You know what I mean? I got in like right after that court case there, I got charged for something a little extreme. I don't know if you want me to say this but it's in court. Okay, so right after that charge, I dropped a friend of mine off in Bedford, and I was pulling around, and I had a Nissan 240 SX, and I was turning around in the driveway, and all of a sudden these people jumped out. It was a Civic and a Civic, Dodge Dakota. They all pulled behind my car. And they got out and they were like, remember the corrections, right? You just said, I'm like, what the hell? I'm like, what do you guys want? And then they're like, you just tried to rob my house. I'm like, what? You didn't rob your house? And I was literally just cutting down some weed plants where me and my buddies at. So my car is full of weed plants. I'm supposed to take them dry. The only thing I got in the car is a machete. These guys got like poles and bats, and they're all beating on my car. And I'm like, man, what the shit? So I got out and I started swinging the machete. And yes, I clipped a couple of them. So I got away that night, and then they went and arrested my friend of mine, who's he's Arabic. I do not look Arabic. So they went and arrested a real close friend of mine, and he's a good guy. He don't get in trouble. He has a job, everything lined up for himself. And I don't know how they even got his name, but they went to his job and they arrested him. And I got a call. They're like, man, Nazar's in jail. I'm like, for what? They're like, for what happened last night. I'm like, what? So I drove to the police station, turned myself in to get him out.
And you didn't have to do that.
Nope. But he didn't tell me either. He didn't have to do that. He's a straight law-abiding citizen guy working, and he just had a kid. He had everything going for him, and they arrested. I have no idea. He wasn't with me. He wasn't there. I don't know how they even got his name. So I went in.
Did they let him go? Did they let him go?
Yeah. I walked in. I said, hey, you guys got Nazar Israeli here? And like, yeah. I said, for what? And he goes, well, he was involved. I said, I did that. I'm the one that did that. Get those guys to come here. They can point me out. I did it. Let him go. And he got let go. And I did.
You get charged with a serious crime, right?
I got charged with 18 aggravated assault, attempt of whatever. Really, they offered me 9 years, right? And I was like, fuck that. Go to court, fight it out. So here's the kicker. I go into Judge Beach's room, her courtroom, and she see me for the other case. I'm sitting there. I'm with my old man and my brother-in-law, and these guys walk in, this group of people, and I'm sitting there talking to these people. I don't remember anything, right? And then the Crown comes in and says the names, and I remember their names, and they got up beside me. So what do you think I did? I attacked them in the courtroom, and my dad's like, "Man, what are you doing?" Right? And I'm like, "They're fucking right." Like, because I felt like they attacked me, but I'm not going to say that. And I felt like I was right. And of course, there you go again, right? Doing my thing. So I attacked these guys in the courtroom. We actually ended up out front of the courthouse, and there's a place called Mary Jane's. It's a weed. It's like, you could buy pipes and blunts and all this stuff, like back day papers and stuff. We ran in there, and then the cops come running over. And back then, I think that was 2001. If the court system, if they don't show up to court, that's when you could actually get away with kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And the lady who was my lawyer, she's actually a judge now. So anyway, they shut the courtroom down. They shut it down, and they made us come back a few months later. But I had to go in jail until the next court date. That's okay. So I go in.
Was that your first experience in jail, like for a while?
First time staying in there for a minute, but like I've been in like holding cells all the time. That was my first time going into county for it was 8 months or something. Yeah. Right. So we go to court. They didn't show up. So they called them, couldn't get a hold of them, nothing else. And so the court got thrown out. Right. So Judge Digby was his name. He looks at me. He goes, Mr. Bishop, he goes, you play Monopoly? And I'm like, yeah. He goes, this is your get out of jail free card. Don't ever let me see you again. I'm like, all right, see you later, right? So I get out. They wanted 11 years for that. It was kind of a big deal down here. It was like, it was kind of, I don't think it was that crazy, but it was.
25 years ago, it was a different time back then too.
Yeah, right. So thank God, that was thrown out or whatever. And not thrown. They threw it out because they didn't. There was no witnesses. No. They couldn't cross-examine anybody. And back then, you couldn't just go off somebody's statement. So they had to be there and be cross-examined. So thank God that happened. And the first time we went there, my poor father, when I said I had court that day, and they told me I might go to jail, that's when I told him, I said, Dad, I got to tell you something. He's like, what? I said, I got court today, and they're saying I might go to jail. And he's like, what? He's like, why wouldn't you tell me, right? I'm like, I just don't want to hurt your feelings. He's like, well, it kind of sucks now because now I can't help you. And then I told him what I did. So I told him what I did, and he's just like looking at me. He's like, did you feel threatened? I'm like, I did, Dad. I said, I got surrounded by a bunch of people. The only thing I had was a machete because I cut the weed plants down. And he goes, you did what you had to do. He goes, so if you go to jail, do your time, keep your head up, and then come home. that was it. You know.
And you went to
So
jail.
yeah, I went to jail for that one. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
so at this time in your life, did you get introduced to motorcycle clubs at all?
As soon as I got out, then no, I was around. So my uncle was involved around down home with 80 with HA. I was. That's all you seen back home, like in Nova Scotia. It was HA. I was around the clubhouse down there since I was almost 4 or 5 years old with him. He was never a member, but he was a very well known dude, very serious dude. That's why I was with him all the time, right? I watched him do some stuff. He was my idol growing up. He's the reason why when I got older I started working out. He rode the bike. My first time I rode a bike was with him. He had such an image and an aura. That's what I wanted, and then I got it, and then I don't want it. You know, like it's something you got to keep up all the time. And now I don't even bother with that. But he was a very good, nice person, but he could be extremely capable of a lot of things as well, right?
Yeah.
So I met guys like Egghead, Patrick Garnier, Wolf, Carroll. I was around when 13 Tribe passed over to HA up in Heron Cove with Dirty Dave. His son's one of my best friends. I was always around it, always seeing it. And I remember the first time seeing a pack going Connaught Avenue. When I first seen that pack going down there, there was nothing better than that. Like, it was just like, holy shit, what is this? It was all bikes. And I'm like, oh, like, you know, like, yeah, look at that. You know, so I was a kid on my bicycle sticking baseball cards in the spokes to make the noise. And I just loved it, man. It's what I was. It's in me.
A lot of violence up there with the motorcycle clubs too, right?